Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Thursday Night Football on EA Sports. We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, it's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Just off the shores of Lake Erie, we are at First Energy Stadium in a city aptly named after its founder, Moses Cleveland, way back in 1796. The folks here in Cleveland, even though all the down years, have never stopped supporting their hometown guys, and we got evidence of that a moment ago as the Browns made their entrance. They are ready to do battle with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Hi again, everyone, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Steelers, they're in a real groove of late. Winners of 5 of their last 6 games. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Here's Cleveland's offense under the guidance of quarterback Baker Mayfield. Week 6, lost to Seattle 32-28. Back and forth game. Baker Mayfield 22 of 37, so not the best completion percentage. Did have a passing touchdown and also his first rushing touchdown of his career.
But when you think about what's happening with him and Cleveland, so many great plays, the problem is turning the ball over. All those interceptions he's thrown. He threw 3 more against Seattle. And it reminds me of what an offensive coordinator told me recently about what he tells his quarterback. I want you to be aggressive, but I want you to be smart. You figure out where the line is.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
That's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Mayfield looks to throw. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 42. Speaking of Odell Beckham, he went over 100 yards in that loss to Seattle in Week 6. 101 yards to be exact, 6 catches. Second 100-yard game for him as a Cleveland Brown, but people are waiting for him to find the end zone more. Just 1 touchdown catch through 6 weeks. So they go from one 42-yard line to the other as they come up now 1st and 10. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Check 26, check 26. Watch out! Watch out!
They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. The Steelers now in the nickel here on third down. From the gun, Mayfield. He's got his man. That's Landry. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on third down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. It makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
From the red zone now, Mayfield, his throw incomplete. The Pro Bowler Odell Beckham, the intended receiver. And now it's second down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll make it third down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the play.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Antonio Callaway, his first touchdown on the year. And the Browns take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Extra point through the snowflakes, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. A 10-play drive that time. And it's capped off by the Browns' touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Pittsburgh Steelers, they're getting ready for their first drive here on offense. Gives us a chance to talk about their Week 6 win over the Los Angeles Chargers. Gets them to 2-4, which may not sound great, but it keeps them sort of alive in that AFC North race, Charles. And, hey, Devlin Hodges, first NFL start, and he got the job done.
He did, and he did what they asked him to do, which was take care of the football and not put them in adverse situations. And the defense did the rest. They were so strong right from the first snap. Hodges 15 of 20, 132 yards, a touchdown, and interception. But don't forget, Mason Rudolph may be able to return for the next game after their open week in Week 7.
And if you watch the game, and Charles, I know you did a lot made during the broadcast of he and his dad actually heading to Saskatchewan during the open week.
Between that and duck calling, we got a lot of that information about the Hodges family. Quack, quack.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver. And it's third and short. And let's take a look at the Steeler offense.
And they should be set up for a big game. They have one of the hottest offenses in the league. They're coming in riding a winning streak, but we've seen these quick turnaround games really wreak havoc with what you've done previously. Hopefully they simplify their offense, and they'll just let their playmakers go out and do what they do best.
3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy who can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Right back to Connor here on 1st. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd down, Connor looking for space. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 11 yards there, 1st down. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Steeler football here to begin quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Samuels. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Demarius Randall that time there to knock it free. 7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Out of the gun, Rudolph. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a 1st down.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big 3rd down pickup to keep their drive alive.
Here we go. 70, Indy.
They'll run on 1st down. Samuels. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. On 2nd and 1, Rudolph to the end zone, but it's incomplete. James Washington was the intended target, and it's 3rd and short. They'll look to make it 3 for 3 on 3rd down conversions. They need a yard here. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster, and he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. Again, it'll be Connor. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. James Conner with touchdown number 7 on the year, as they are now on the board here in the 1st half. They were able to push him backwards on 1st down, but this time he forces his way in.
I wonder if he went back to the huddle and said, guys, just a little bit more help, and I can get it done on this one. Maybe even overruled the play call from the sideline, just feeling like he had that opportunity, and he wanted to cash it in.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Browns offense coming back onto the field here. We mentioned earlier their loss to Seattle in Week 6. Back-to-back losses now. And you think about it, Charles, at this point last season, the Browns actually had a better record than they do right now at 2-4.
Hard to believe. And remember what we said in preseason, that these Browns and their fans, it's not the lovable Browns and, oh, we have low expectations. If we got to this point and they weren't playing well, might be a little bit ugly in Cleveland right now because things have really jumped in where they expect this team to be. They haven't won a game at home yet this season. And how about the upcoming schedule? They get the open week, and they need it. Then things really start to jump up. At New England. At Denver is playing much better on defense. And then they host Buffalo, one of the surprises of the season in the early going.
Play action now. Here's Mayfield. And his throw is incomplete. He was looking for Odell Beckham that time. That'll bring up second down. All right, CD, let's have a little fun. Now that we're into October, I'm going to give you some AFC teams. You tell me quickly, contender or pretender. You ready?
Yes, let's do it.
All right, let's start in the East. Buffalo.
Contender for a wild card spot.
Okay, how about the Chargers?
Pretender.
AFC North, the Steelers.
Contender because the AFC North is a jumble.
Okay, and then lastly, let's go to the South, Jacksonville.
Pretender. Houston now in control.
Mayfield to throw it. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
I'm laughing to myself because I could just hear in film session. But, Coach, I was throwing it to Odell Beckham Jr. Of course I thought he was open.
They'd love to go deep downfield to him, though. Such a threat.
Yeah, a rare incompletion because most of the time we expect him to actually come up with the catch.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Here's Switzer. Call that a 46-yard punt with a net of 40 on the 6-yard return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Steelers making their way back out. And that Week 6 victory over the Chargers, we mentioned it was Devlin Hodges' first NFL start. He's their 3rd quarterback, maybe really even their 4th if you consider that they traded Josh Dobbs. But they really leaned on the running game and some short passes in that victory.
Yeah, and the running backs became a big part of everything, as you mentioned, running the football, but also catching out the backfield. James Conner, you expected, but welcome to the party, Benny Snell, the rookie out of Kentucky who was a workhorse back in the Bluegrass State and got some good run out in California on Sunday night. So without Big Ben, passing game, a little more utilitarian. The tough part is Juju Smith-Schuster, who should be their top receiver, just 1 catch against the Chargers in a homecoming game.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Shotgun snap for Rudolph. Escaping the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a 1st down. 1st down now, but the clock continues to move. Rudolph looking to throw. Gets this to his running back. That's Jalen Samuels. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Rudolph. Setting up the screen, this is Samuels. And he's got room. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Jalen Samuels, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Steelers have taken the lead. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Yeah, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, whoever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
Boswell for the extra point. And he atones for his miss the first time around, as this one is up and good to extend their lead. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay. I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Throwing, Mayfield, and he's got the hook up to Landry. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. A first down throw from Mayfield. He'll get that complete to the tight end, Harris. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down. Mayfield down. He gets it complete to Harris. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. Mayfield brings him up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the right hash, this from 48. And it bangs off the left upright and deflects away. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So plenty of leg, but it's the accuracy there that lets him down.
Yeah, he hit it really well. I think this might have been good from 55. But you'll see it just conk off that.
And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and CD in a minute. First, it's time to take a look at what we've got coming your way this weekend in the NFL. Some good games to look forward to in the early window, especially the one in Baltimore. A big one coming up for the Ravens as they'll square off against the visiting Houston Texans. Good stuff to follow on the West Coast in the afternoon window, one being out in Oakland, where it'll be the Raiders taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. And finally, on Sunday Night Football, a matchup that we nearly saw in the playoffs last year, Bears and Rams from Los Angeles. In the game you're watching, it was Mason Rudolph with a strong first half throwing the football. His guys have the lead as the white stuff continues to fall. And for the call of the second half, we'll give it back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So here are the Steelers to take over on offense. They're working on a 4-game winning streak, and they lead this one as well right now as they start 1st and 10. Now a pass that's taken in by Smith-Schuster. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh first.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
So the ref takes a peek here, wants to see if the receiver had possession and both feet inbounds.
If this were a college game, this would be a legal catch. It's the second foot that they're looking at to make sure it gets down. You have to have 2 inbounds in the NFL.
Pittsburgh.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Now a pass hauled in downfield. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in the game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. So it would appear they will not be able to add to their lead on this opening drive of the second half.
Yeah, if another touchdown was scored there, now we're talking about a 2-score game, and they're probably on their way of creating an excellent gap between them and their pursuers. But how about the defense there, able to step up and keep themselves in this one? That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the 3rd quarter. And they will begin with, should we call it, far from ideal starting field position, their own 2-yard line.
So what's your definition of ideal?
And oh, that is going to be a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt. And if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
So a free kick situation forthcoming from the 20 as they'll punt this one away. And an alley to run. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive.
Pilot, 64, weak.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Rudolph. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
They're going to be stopped up on this 1st down run. He might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. On 2nd down, it's Connor. And, oh, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that'll bring up 2nd down. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Rudolph now to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on 3rd down. From the 50, it's Rudolph. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. A good pickup there, 26 yards. In this weather, any big play in the passing game, that's just a bonus, right?
It certainly is, but oftentimes offenses think inclement weather plays to their advantage because you know where you're going on offense. Defenders have to react, and they often slip.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. On 1st down, they'll run with Hunt. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down.
Unfortunately for you, you've been around me for a little while now, so you know me as well as anyone and how I look at a game. I don't ever advocate abandoning anything. But in this case, I'm going against my own thought process. You got to change it up. You got to start throwing it around a little bit, finding ways to try and move the ball because keeping on the ground just isn't working for them.
Yeah, maybe get him the ball out of the passing game, a swing pass outside or something, just something to vary it up. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 22 yards there, a 1st down. I love that play because in the snow you think run, run, run. Big passing play there.
And defenders hate it, especially in open space, because trying to come under control, break down, and make a tackle in the open field, difficult in normal conditions. In these conditions, almost impossible.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 36. Mayfield looks to throw. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Let's go, D.
One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Browns on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. To throw, Mayfield. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
One score down, here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Now Mayfield on 4th down. And this is caught. He hits Landry. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Baker Mayfield, as a rookie, 3 times he led the Browns back to victory in the 4th quarter. What can he do here in year number 2? On 1st down, Hunt. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hunt. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Kareem Hunt, his first touchdown on the year, as they now sit just a 2-point conversion away from tying this game up in the 4th quarter. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Here we go. The Browns will go for 2.
Hey, 133.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
They can't stop us. They cannot hold
And the failure to convert and tie the game. Now the pressure shifts back to the defense.
But I think it was the right play. I think it was the right call to try and tie the game there. Kick an extra point, you're still down 1. What's the sense? I like what they did.
So the lead shaved to 2 now as the kickoff is away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game, and you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. And he'll find Washington. That's complete. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 44-yard line. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
Ready.
Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. They'll run with Samuels. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. On the counter, it's Connor. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
2 minutes remain, and that's our score differential as well. 2 points here in the 4th quarter. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They run with Connor, and he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. So they come up on second down, and they can get another run like we just saw. Would likely put an end to this thing. Connor. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Rudolph now to throw. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Now Mayfield and the Browns. Down by 5, just over 1:40 to play. They need a touchdown. A field goal is worthless now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll throw down the field, caught by his running back. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Back to throw. Obviously a big first down right there.
Yeah, they still got to hustle. They got to get up to the line of scrimmage and get set. But I don't think necessarily you need to spike it, but they've got to continue to move quickly.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Mayfield to throw. It's brought in by Harris. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Back to throw. And he's got his man. That's Landry. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 32-yard line. They'll look to throw.
This is where hustle.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Steven Nelson.
And that one, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to come up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw, and it'll wind up being intercepted.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes.
70, Indy. Here we go, Hit it.
And the knee is taken for the Steelers out of the victory formation.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I tell you, these division games never for the faint of heart, but they come through with a tight victory here on the road.
And you find yourself working harder in a game like this too, don't you?
Yeah,
because you got to stay with it, right? You got to stay with it. You got to stay locked in. It's our type of a game. And you just mentioned it. Division game, on the road, tight, and they find a way to win it. Way to hunker down, as my old coach used to say, and find your way through.
So for the Steelers, it's an important win in terms of staying in the postseason race as they move to 6-4. And now they'll have a few extra days here before they face Cincinnati next week. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, they're going the wrong way as this will drop them to 3-7 now on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.